Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul. Worship His holy name. Sing like never before. Oh my soul, I'll worship Your holy name.
It began with God moving through a church.
Moving through a church in a rented movie theater.
With us working together.
Working together.
Hand in hand with our neighbors and with our God.
And it continued through sunrises and sunsets.
Changed lives and challenges.
Births, deaths, and baptisms.
Each day giving us new reasons to bless God's holy name.
And now,
in this, our 37th year,
we stand together.
Together, we stand in awe.
Together we stand in awe of what God has done.
God's hand has been so evident in our student ministries over this past year. Here in Impact and even over at Elevate, every week we're seeing thousands of students whose lives are being changed by God's love. This past year, with all of our combined camps, we've had nearly 4,000 students come have life-changing experiences in God's presence. We also had Pineapple Mayhem, an annual Elevate event that brought in more than 2,000 students, half of which had never been to church before. And we had our first Student Leadership Summit, where over 200 students came to get information on how to grow their leadership influence. Together, we stand in awe of what God has done.
Right here in the atrium and in the activity center is where God worked to bring financial peace and freedom. This included those in our church who were either stuck in challenging financial situations or just wanted to learn more about God's plan for handling money. Over 2,300 people across all our campuses participated in FPU this past spring. At South Barrington alone, participants were able to eliminate nearly $1.1 million of debt and save an additional $625,000 while learning and embracing the principles of this class. Together, we are in awe of how God has used this class to not only give people hope and financial peace, but to really challenge and grow them spiritually as they learn more about how to handle the resources God has entrusted to them.
Great is God's faithfulness. Let's sing this together.
Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto
this year, God continued to move the hearts of our congregation to those in need in our own backyard. Because of your heart to give your time, your resources, your gifts, our current care center has over 1,000 volunteers serving 5,000 families every month. In addition to that, God moved the congregation to fully fund a brand new care center that will be located right in back of me. In less than 1 year, all of our care ministries will be located under one roof where we will have the privilege to serve our guests more holistically. We will have an opportunity to meet our guests' immediate need, but also provide services that address the underlying causes of that need. And the best part is, under that same roof is our church, where we can welcome them into our own community. Together, we are in awe of what God has done in and through our church.
This year, God did amazing work in this room and in rooms just like this all across our 6 Willow campuses. And our church's fire for people who are far from God just grew harder and harder. This year, at Alpha alone, close to 700 people have attended. I wish you could see how God has helped people to work through their challenges, their barriers of what it means to be in relationship with this awesome God. And this year we trained over 2,400 people with our Just Walk Across the Room program. God is reminding us that we are here to reach those people that are outside of the walls of Willow.
Our God is mighty to save. Let's sing this together.
The Savior, He can move the mountains. My God is mighty to save. He is mighty to save. Forever, author of salvation. He rose and conquered the grave. Jesus conquered the grave.
God grew our hearts even more this past year for those with special needs. In fact, much of it started right here behind me on that stage. In addition to our annual fishing derby, where over 500 families with special needs were served and loved on, the whole church rallied around the performances of Andy Jr. We had volunteers come forward and say that they would help us with costumes and props and staging. Vocalists and drama and choreographer volunteers came forward. Elevate and Impact students spent hours memorizing scripts and musical dances for the sole purpose of helping the actors on stage, just in case they forgot a line. Even guest ministry volunteers came forward, and they actually hosted all 3 Annie performances. And our actors, oh, they were amazing. Our actors were kids from our church with special needs. Talk about the whole church coming together. We are in awe at all that God has done.
At this year's Celebration of Hope, God expanded our hearts and minds as we packed seeds in this room for families around the world. Together, we came to a better understanding of what it means to bring hope to her. With God's help, we packed 550,000 seed bags and raised more than $1.6 million. And we laced up our running shoes so that more than 2,000 students will have new shoes for school. Together, we are in awe of what God has done through Celebration of Hope.
Our God is unfailing.
His faithfulness is great.
His name is holy.
And we are in awe.
Together we have experienced His works.
Together.
Together we serve for His glory.
Together we anticipate what He will do.
What He will do.
What He will do in us.
And through us.
And this
is Great Church.
Satisfies my
perhaps the best picture we have of God's love never running out on us is when we get a chance to celebrate baptism together and we see life after life after life of God chasing after someone and then making a commitment to turn back and turn to God. And one of our traditions in our anniversary service is to welcome to the stage anyone who's been baptized over the last 12 months, whether you've been baptized here on this stage or in the lake, whether you're a part of our Next Gen Ministries. As we sing this next song, we invite you to make your way